One of the most powerful experiences in my life. To me, a powerful experience would be one that causes a huge impact in my life, but also with great emotion. I'm generally not a person that doesn't get too emotional, so when this event happened, it took an emotional toll on me. When events happen, when any event happens, I generally think logically and not out of emotion. So growing up, I rarely had several I rarely had any emotional moments, and so this stood out to me. Even my testimony doesn't contain an emotional event that happened, much like Paul on the road to Damascus. And so, this event that has happened over the past 3 years stands out because of the emotional toll it brought to me, my families, and my surrounding communities. For the Lord is good, and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations. Psalms 105. This was the verse I entailed when I notified my fellow peers that my academic irresponsibility had caught up with me and that I was asked to leave the University of Texas at Dallas. Before this happened, I've always struggled with school growing up. When I was in kindergarten, my parents encouraged me to be held back a grade. Lots of my childhood memories were often sitting in a bunch of meetings with teachers or parents that would discuss my academics. My parents tried to correct me by adding more and more schoolwork, hoping that this would cure my poor performance. Often I would look back and try to figure out what was wrong with me. Why did I struggle academically so much? It never had to do with my intelligence. My teachers and parents both knew that, but it was a lack of discipline and a desire to be obedient in my studies. Often I would not concentrate in school and I would just daydream, and instead I would do minimal work to just get a passing grade in class. I was always capable of achieving an A, but I never tried to do so. I was always interested in other things like sports or just hanging out with friends or playing video games. This continued, and I was able to slide through high school and achieve decent grades to be able to get into college. But my poor studying habits still existed and carried through my college career. By God's grace, I was accepted to the University of Texas at Dallas. My academic irresponsibility still continued as I continued not to pay attention and score poor in tests. I started skipping out classes because I would rather hang out with friends. I would spend a lot of my time not focusing on school and be involved with other campus activities. In the year of 2013, I was a sophomore at the College of the University of Texas at Dallas when one email completely shaked my entire comfortable world. At this moment, I was asked to leave the school, and I was completely shattered. I was currently a small group leader and had plans to continue my ministry there, and during my time I didn't even tell anyone of my academical struggles. So as a result, it caused a lot of discord between the fellow relationships that I had there. When this occurred, I was completely disappointed and shameful in myself for misusing the blessing that God has given me at this university. And so I definitely felt a lot of shame and a lot of disappointment just at myself, and just struggled with the loss of my friends since I would have to move from Dallas to Houston again, and just missing that community, and I was just completely disappointed, and it ushered a lot of questions about myself, and it questioned a lot about my self-confidence and what was I going to do in life, what was my purpose in life and stuff. And so these questions allowed me to bring closer to God, because there was a 3-month period in which I was completely alone in my room, and that allowed me to be very intimate with God. It definitely humbled me, and at this time, that's when I seeked Him, because everything in my career life or everything I was doing at the moment was just completely destroyed. So since then, God has completely changed and transformed my life by just having a summer job that summer and then being able to apply at the College of Biblical Studies a year ago, and now just having a part-time job right now as I handle school. Like, God has definitely been there the whole time, so I'm so thankful for His sovereign hand in my life. And so, just to conclude with the verse that I started off with, for the Lord is good, and His love endures forever. His faithfulness continues to all generations. Psalms 105.